Sawasdee and welcome to Be My Guest, the program which brings you successful stories of entrepreneurs and organizations in both domestic and international arenas. I'm Surosha Ratanapian. And based on the concept of soul cycle from New York, Thailand welcomed the first rhythm cycling to correspond to the emerging trend of healthy lives of Thai consumers nowadays. This type of workout changed the way we think about the exercise as the boring jogging or lonely cycling, as the world's top playlists of international music are applied to rejuvenate your body and mind. So in this episode, to be my guest, learn more with me on rhythm cycling.
3, 2, 1, go!
And currently I'm with Miss Faye Hoklani, the fitness instructor. Sawasdee ka.
Sawasdee ka.
So first of all, it's really welcome here to have you in Thailand right now. So first of all, could you introduce yourself a bit to our fans?
Well, I'm originally from Singapore, but I now live in Manila, and that's where I discovered rhythm cycling. So I'm here in Bangkok to teach for a month. I'm also a personal trainer and I teach yoga as well.
I see. Okay, talking about rhythm cycling, so many people might not know about this word before. So actually what rhythm cycling is?
Rhythm cycling is basically indoor cycling, but we, instead of just spinning, we cycle to the beat of the music. So different music have different tempos, different BPMs, and so we use that to program the class. And the result is basically you're having lots of fun. You feel like you're dancing on the bike.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the same time, it's a cardiovascular exercise. We're doing a lot of sprints. We're doing a lot of intervals, and it's basically a lot of fun.
Okay. So basically, how long is a session of rhythm cycling?
One session is about 45 minutes. That includes cool down as well.
Okay, so could you tell us a bit, could you break down, what you start, from the first section or the first 10 minutes, and then how do you end the class?
Well, what to expect in a 45-minute rhythm cycling class is that, okay, we'll start out with warm-ups, and then we'll change the tempo, we'll go to a faster beat, and then we'll do some hand movements on the bike. So you're moving your legs and you're moving your hands. So a lot of coordination is also involved. And then we work on your stamina. We build up your stamina doing sprints, going really fast, and then taking a break, sitting down also. And then we add resistance. And when you add resistance, that makes it a lot harder. And basically, I feel in order to get the most out of the workout, the more resistance, the better. The more resistance you have, the more calories you're going to burn. So just because you're going fast doesn't mean you're burning a lot of calories. That's building up the stamina.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe that there are some skills or difficulty involving in it. So are there different levels of classes, or there's only one type?
We have two types of classes at Absolute U. One is Absolute Beats and one is Big Beats. So Big Beats is the more intense class. We have a lot more faster tempos for the songs.
I see. And in terms of students, who can be your students?
Anyone can attend a class for Absolute Beats, but if you want to do Big Beats, then you have to at least do two classes of Absolute Beats.
Okay.
And we'll also do a foundation class if you're a first timer. Then we will do 30-minute foundation. We'll show you how to set up the bike. We'll show you how to listen up for the tempo.
I see.
And that will help you get started as well.
Okay. I believe that many people know about cycling. So could you tell us a bit on what are the differences between rhythm cycling and normal cycling?
For me, I don't cycle outside. Quite honestly, actually, I'm not really that good at cycling outside. So I think the difference between cycling outside and cycling indoor cycling is I guess your form. Because when you're cycling outside, you're leaning forward on the bike, whereas indoor cycling, your hips are back. So you're barely putting any weight on the handlebars.
I see.
You're using a lot of your glutes.
I
so it's
see.
a great leg workout. Actually, it's a full body workout, but you're training your glutes the most.
I see. Okay. Now, talking about your personal, start, I would say, and what is the inspiration of starting, this type of sports?
Well, I started a health and fitness blog, my blog, Beautiful Active Life. And I really love fitness. I got into it when I was 18 because I really wanted to lose weight, to model. I wanted to pursue modeling at that time. And then I just got into fitness. And then I did personal training as well. I did a personal training course and also a yoga course. But I think in terms of cardio, I found like running wasn't really for me because it's a high impact on the knees.
I see.
So when I discovered indoor cycling, I was pumped because it's easy on the joints because your legs are constantly bent. So it's low impact on the knees and it's such a fun cardio exercise.
Okay, so as you told me, it's like dancing.
It's like dancing on a bike, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the benefits of rhythm cycling? So what are they?
It's a cardiovascular exercise, so you're working out your full body, and we also do upper body exercises using weights, one part of the class, and we're also doing hand movements, so it helps with your coordination as well. You need to really focus in class to get the most out of it.
Okay, and you told me before that you are also a yoga instructor as well.
Yeah.
So, what are the difference between, cycling and yoga?
Well, it's very different. Like I would say, yoga is very zen. For me, it's more of a mental exercise, just shutting out. But for for rhythm cycling, it's very high energy. It's cardio. So you're really pushing your limits. Yeah, it's pushing your boundaries each time, and for me that keeps me balanced. I have the mental exercise and I have the physical exercise too.
Okay, and how often you have practiced, different of yoga and also different types of sport. So do you observe any change, in terms of your figure, your body, or your mental mind?
I found that when I tried rhythm cycling, because it's a cardiovascular exercise, I started to shed fat really fast because you're doing a lot of sprints and intervals during those sprints. So that just bringing the heart rate up and then bringing it down and then bringing it up again, that burns the most calories, especially the afterburn. Even when you finish your workout, you still continue to burn calories.
Okay. And talking about a number of calories, so people may be interested on how many calories they will lose for each session. So how many is it?
I would say between 300 to 800 calories.
Wow.
We had someone who burned 800 calories in my class before too.
Okay.
So I was, wow, 800 calories, that's a lot.
Okay. No, so that means each student will burn differently.
Yes, it just depends on how active you are, your metabolism and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the equipment that you have to use, in one class? So what are they?
Basically the bike and dumbbells. We have 1 kilo and 2 kilo dumbbells, but believe me, after you've done the legs, after you've worked out the legs, 1 kilo is going to feel like a ton.
Okay. So that means you have some guidance or some instructions for students before they take class that, okay, how many kilo, they should take, or what, how do you considering that?
I would advise to just start with the 1 kilo first, and then, if you feel that's not challenging enough for you, then go for the 2 kilos. But for the weights portion, we're doing high reps, high repetition, so the lighter the weight, the better, because we're doing a lot of repetitions.
Okay. So how many times, per week do you suggest in doing rhythm cycling?
If you want to lose weight, I would say 5 times a week or 5 to 7 times a week.
Wow.
But if you want to maintain 3 times a week, 3 to 5 is sufficient.
I see. Okay, so 3 to 5, per week, and that's sufficient to remain your healthy, body here. Now, any precautions, of taking this type of class?
I would say go at your own pace at first. Stay safe, but at the same time, push your limits as well. And the energy in class is just really infectious. Also, drink lots of water because we sweat so much in class, and the only way you're going to recover faster is by drinking lots of water. And keep a balanced diet also, of course.
Okay, so that means you have to keep yourself hydrated at all times as well. Okay,
yes.
while training in the class. Now, talking about the popularity of this type of sport, so how do you view its popularity right now in the world?
It is definitely growing. I mean, it started in the States like 8, almost 10 years ago, and it's finally, catching on over here in Southeast Asia. And I've just been seeing people are getting into it a lot. Like, so far, it's been positive experience for everyone, and I find that people are really getting into it.
Okay, and what were the feedbacks of your students, from the past that you trained them?
It wasn't easy, but I love it. Yeah, that's usually the
okay.
feedback. Like, it's a good balance of being challenging, but at the same time, you want to feel it's not just challenging, but that you can also do it, and that you can do better next time. And that's why they keep coming back, because they know they can improve.
Okay, so suppose I want to be your students in one class. So what should be my aim in each class? So what should they aim to achieve?
Well, I think just to improve your form on the bike. That takes some getting used to at first, and also just building up the stamina so you last longer doing the sprints. We have like 30 minutes. For me, I do a 30-minute, 45 seconds, and sometimes 1-minute sprint.
Okay, I see. So actually, students have to follow teachers or instructor suggestions as well. Okay, now we are talking a bit broad about the consumer behaviors right now. So what do you think, has changed in terms of consumer behaviors or how people react or behave nowadays?
I feel like fitness is becoming a social activity. People want to not just go out and eat or drink anymore. They want to do something together. So I think rhythm cycling is a great way to just get together with your friends, have that feel-good energy in class, and then after class, go enjoy your food or go enjoy your drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now talking about food, food must be one important factor as well in order to keep the body balanced. So any suggestions on how to balance, exercise and diet?
Well, I've been eating absolute fit food while I'm here, so that's been keeping my waist trim. But I mean, for me personally, I have one good meal and one carb meal. I don't believe in diets. I don't believe in cutting out any food. I believe in just everything in moderation and watching your portion as well.
Okay, so last but not least, any final notes for our reviewers?
Come check us out at Absolute Cycle. I'm sure you have a positive and fun experience. Bring your friends. It's even more fun when you're challenging yourself with your good friends.
Okay, so rhythm cycling is now a social activity, already. So thank you very much for your time today. ขอบคุณค่ะ For now, it's time for a short break. Right back and we meet another fitness instructor, and the teacher, of rhythm cycling. So please stay tuned and be my guest.